Rob Schneider is Jabba the Hutt?
You can do it, Solo.
So, of course, we know the news came that the Obi-Wan Solo movie is coming, but what also we found out is that Lucasfilm is considering a whole bunch of other Solo movies, including Jabba the Hutt. Andy, what do you think about a Jabba the Hutt Solo movie?
I don't know how to say what he says. I think that initially I thought, why? But then I heard what they were thinking of doing, that it's going to be a little gangster movie.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
Essentially, if made right, this should be like Goodfellas in space with Jabba as the mob boss, like he is in the cartel, you know.
Yeah.
So this could be potentially a really fantastic movie, or of course a really terrible movie. Just like any movie has the potential to be good or bad. But if done right, this could be awesome. And Guillermo del Toro has been talking about doing a Jabba the Hutt gangster movie for years. So if that's what they're thinking about doing, oh boy, I hope that they get together with him and do this, because Lucasfilm, with Guillermo del Toro's vision of like practical effects and costuming and everything, especially at Jabba's palace, where what we saw in Return of the Jedi was the costumes and the puppets and everything. Imagine that. But now Guillermo del Toro, I hope I'm saying that right. It's Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo.
Yeah. Say it again.
Guillermo.
There we go. Del Toro. And it would be so awesome if they got him and they did this correctly.
Now, do you think that they're actually gonna, from when they were trying to do the Boba Fett movie, you think they're gonna just kind of put that storyline in here as well? Do you think he's gonna be part of this whole
think
thing?
that I love Boba Fett. And he's had some great stories in the expanded universe. His time in the movies was cool too, but he didn't actually do that much in the original Star Wars trilogy. All the cool stuff that he did was in like Shadows of the Empire and all of the what's now considered Legends. But yes, if you're going to do cool stuff with Boba, I still don't know if I quite see Boba Fett being his own movie. I would still watch that, but I feel like he's best when he's kind of a side character. And so having him as one of the bounty hunters in the Jabba the Hutt movie would be the best thing that I could think of to do.
A hired goon.
Yeah.
You want me to kill him gangland style or execution style?
Hey, did you hear what I said? I said
Listen to your heart.
So yeah, I think that if I was making this movie, it would be Jabba the Hutt as the mob boss, and it would focus on maybe 4 different stories with we got Boba Fett doing his thing, Dengar doing his thing, IG-88 doing his thing. Basically, if you guys have ever read Tales from the Bounty Hunters, from the 90s, it would basically be like that. But, changed a little bit to fit with the current, canon and all that,
I just, in my mind, just pictured Boba Fett being like Ray Liotta's character in Goodfellas and having him sort of, narrate top of what's going on.
So that was me 5 years ago, Jabba the Hutt, his palace. So we're talking and we're playing some cards and I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to catch this Han Solo guy. He's really been pissing me off lately. So I says to the guys, hey, what do you think? All right, I'm going too far with that joke.
Wow.
Of course, when people say they want a Boba Fett solo movie, they really mean what they really want to know is, did he survive the Sarlacc pit? And I feel like that doesn't necessarily have to be answered now, because we barely saw anything that Boba Fett did before he died in the Sarlacc pit. So there's still so much of his life we can cover. And if it was put in this Jabba the Hutt movie, that would be awesome.
What if they decide with Boba Fett to do a movie like that? What is it, 100 and something hours? With,
127 hours with James Franco.
Yeah, but it's Boba Fett.
Oh! So it's like he's got his little video camera in the Sarlacc pit. He's like, day 5 in the Sarlacc pit. I think I'm going to have to cut off my leg. God, I can feel myself being slowly digested. All right, I got to turn the camera off for a minute. Comes back on. Oh God! Oh my eye! Oh God! Oh God! Yeah, sort of like that.
Yeah, there you go, Disney. There's another one for you.
Sounds like family fun.
So with all these new Solo movies, not Han Solo, but just individual, storylines that Star Wars is doing, how do you feel that the fans will take this in? Like, do you think that they're going to start to get a little bit more fatigued with Star Wars being everywhere? Like, it's not as exciting anymore?
Everybody keeps talking about fan fatigue, especially when you watch shows like, Mr. Sunday Movies and Collider. Everyone's like, oh, no, we don't want 2 Star Wars movies a year because fan fatigue. And it's like, maybe for some of the casuals, that would be a problem. And I guess I could see from a money-making point of view, that might become an issue later on. I don't know. For me personally, I could watch 50 new Star Wars movies a year and be totally fine. So I don't know what they're talking about, man. Yeah. Give me a Yoda movie. Give me a Boba Fett movie, a Jabba movie, a Dengar movie. Give me a Red Guard number 9 in the background of, Palpatine's Palace solo movie trilogy. And I'll be great.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, we're the nerds that'll watch whatever, whenever they put it out. But we don't control the population that actually feeds Disney's kids. Oh wait, they have Disneyland, and they don't care.
You know what I want the most, though, Andy? You know what I want the most, and I've wanted this since I was a kid. I want a Shadows of the Empire movie, and now I realize that that's impossible from a certain point of view, because of course,
was that Obi-Wan?
It takes place between 4 and 5. Or 5 and 6, and it focuses on Dash Rendar and his journey fighting the bounty hunters and then the Black Sun group and everything. But we can do it in CGI or as a cartoon. Is anybody opposed to the idea of in the middle of all these live action movies, Lucasfilm and Disney doing a cartoon movie? Can we do an animated movie?
I don't see why not.
Because if we can, then we can have Shadows of the Empire, which I still think is my favorite Star Wars story.
The animated series they have now is really successful.
I love Rebels, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to end, or at least there's going to be a point where they can move on to another storyline.
Season 4 is going to be the last season, and they said that soon they will announce what the next show will focus on. Of course, the first show was Clone Wars, and that was between 2 and 3, and then this show, Rebels, was between 3 and 4. So I don't know what they're planning on doing next, but I would love, and you could probably only do 1 or 2 seasons of this, but if they were going to do a show of Shadows of the Empire, I'm telling you, man, there is no character as cool as Dash Rendar in that entire saga, and he needs to be recanonized. And there's nothing in Shadows of the Empire, I feel, at least that what I can remember, there's nothing in that story that would conflict with any of the current canon. Because they originally that story was made to fit between 5 and 6 and was made to work perfectly between 5 and 6. And since they haven't really done any new canon between 5 and 6, there's no reason why they can't make that canon.
Well, yeah, and I remember hearing that Disney decided to make all the books and comics and all that stuff, and they took it out of canon. Not to say that it wouldn't be reintroduced, but it was up to them to decide what was canon and what's not.
Like Thrawn was a huge bad guy in the books. The Thrawn trilogy took place after Return of the Jedi, and it was kind of like that before Episode 7. That was the continuation of Star Wars, and then since that's not canon anymore, they reintroduced Thrawn in Rebels, and now his character does stuff before Episode 4 instead of after Return of the Jedi. And of course, he'll probably die in Rebels, because he wasn't in the original trilogy. But they could do something like that. I don't know. I don't care what you do. Disney, if you're listening, and I know you're not, please canonize Shadows of the Empire. Please make a movie, an animated movie, a CG movie, a show, a something. I just want Shadows of the Empire. I'm so desperate for it. At least re-release the N64 game, because that was awesome.
All right, Star Wars, everyone. Go watch your Star Wars movie that's on your bookshelf, dust it off. If you don't have any, get one.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening to another one of our crazy rants. This has been Movie News Guys. Let us know in the comments below, what kind of Star Wars spinoff would you like to see? Are you disappointed with the spinoffs that you're hearing about coming? Let us know. Subscribe to us right here at youtube.com/. We don't know what the URL is going to be yet until they allow us to have a custom URL. Movie News Guys. Find us out facebook.com/Movie News Guys and instagram.com/Movie News Guys. We are the Movie News Guys, where, Andy, what do we talk about?
Movies and sometimes guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.